Hey Tribe, it's Steph, and today I'm sharing with you our movement of the month, which is overhead presses or chest/bench presses. So pressing is a pushing movement. It's a very foundational movement. You can do it vertically or horizontally. I'm going to show you some examples today and just kind of bring some awareness to the core and the breath and the muscles we're engaging during this pushing movement. So there's a lot of different ways you can do pressing, whether it's standing or lying on a bench or on the ground. You can use barbells, you can use, like we use torpedoes, you can use dumbbells if you want to do like some single arm pressing, and there's a lot of variations, but I'm going to talk about some of the main ones. And the muscles that we're hitting when we're pressing are obviously shoulders, so deltoids, we're hitting back muscles, we're hitting arm muscles, and we're also engaging the core a lot as well. So that's one of the key things I want us to think about. So let's just start with the overhead press. So if I am using the torpedo, the nice thing about the torpedo is we can use it like we would a barbell with two hands on. Now we could also do a single arm press, right, from here. But let's just talk about having two hands on one piece of equipment like a barbell or a torpedo. What that's gonna do is allow for a little bit more support versus being, let's say, with dumbbells on each side. So if you have a shoulder injury, you might want to focus on using something like the torpedoes or barbells, so then you have the other shoulder to help stabilize the weaker shoulder. So there's benefits to both single arm and then using a piece where we have both hands on one. So when we are doing, let's say, an overhead press with the torpedo, we want to make sure that we're grounded into our feet. We're not leaning forward or rocking too far back. We also want to make sure that we're not arching the back. So a lot of times when we press and let's say we go a little too heavy, we end up arching into our back when we do this. So we want to think about engaging the core so that we're not leaning forward. So drawing in and up, wherever that weight is, right in front. Inhale, and then as we exhale, push up, still keeping the core strong, and then taking that weight directly above, and then back down to about the collarbone. So inhale, exhale. And I can think about on that exhale, drawing in and up through the core. So an overhead press is all the upper body here, right? We're standing, but most of that work is coming from the upper body. Difference between that and a push press, we're gonna use our legs a little bit. So we got a little bend in the knees, and that allows us to go a little heavier if that's our goal, and it's a little bit more of an explosive movement versus the overhead press. We're standing strong, legs aren't really moving, and we're making the weight come from the upper body, the strengthening there. So that would be our standing overhead press. Now we could also do seated overhead press, and then we could take it into a floor press or a bench press. So some variations for that, again, we could use the torpedo if we wanted that more of like a barbell feel. You could also use a traditional barbell to do your bench press. So if I had a barbell here, again, I'm pulling the elbows down and up about 90 degrees or touching off the chest and pressing back up. We like to use dumbbells in this movement. Some options here. Again, making sure I'm not arching my back, right? So here's definitely where the core comes in. I want to think about drawing down, not necessarily pressing the low back into the mat, but engaging the core where I can feel my ab muscles drawing in and up, all right? Not necessarily crunching, but if I were to just be here, I can feel the difference between my abs engaged and relaxed. All right, so let's say we were doing a single arm press. We could take the opposite fingers down towards the obliques, towards the abs, and so when I come down, inhale, exhale, I use that exhale, feel my core muscles stabilize because obviously I'm offsetting this weight, so it's gonna be a little bit more core work when I'm doing that offset press. If I wanna take this up a notch, I could lift my feet. Inhale, exhale, or maybe I take my feet off the ground. Really feel the abs working on that one because you have to stabilize. Now, I could do, instead of single arm, I could do that same thing. Either feet down, feet up, or feet lifted. Inhale, exhale. I could take the arms together. I could also
alternate, one on each side, and I can feel which side is a little bit weaker than the other. So there are benefits to both single arm movements, using something like the torpedo of the barbell, doing floor presses versus doing overhead presses. So each of them has their own benefits. We're still working those shoulder muscles, arm muscles, back muscles, core muscles. So just be a little bit more aware of your core when you're doing these pressing motions. If you have any questions about presses,